The quotient rule for derivatives. Use the quotient rule to find the derivative of any function in the form of y equals f of x divided by g of x. That is, y is a quotient. When this is the case, we compute the derivative of y as follows. Y prime is equal to the denominator times the derivative of the numerator minus the numerator times the derivative of the denominator, all divided by the denominator squared. In non-math terms, that's the bottom function times the derivative of the top minus the top times the derivative of the bottom, all divided by the bottom squared. Note that the quotient rule does not allow us to compute the derivative by simply dividing f prime by g prime. Example 1, we're asked to find the derivative of y equals 3e to the x divided by x squared minus 1. First, observe that y is the quotient of two functions, 3e to the x and x squared minus 1. Therefore, we must use the quotient rule to find the derivative. Applying the quotient rule formula, y prime is equal to the bottom function, x squared minus 1, times the derivative of the function on the top, 3e to the x, minus the function on top, 3e to the x, times the derivative of the one on the bottom, x squared minus 1, all divided by the bottom function squared. Computing those derivatives, the derivative of 3e to the x is 3e to the x, and the derivative of x squared minus 1 is 2x. Therefore, my final answer for the derivative is 3x squared e to the x minus 3e to the x minus 6x e to the x, all divided by the quantity x squared minus 1 to the second power. Example 2, I want to find the derivative of y equals the square root of x divided by 2 times the natural log of x. Well, we'll again observe that y is the quotient of the square root of x and 2 times the natural log of x. Therefore, we'll use the quotient rule to find the derivative. Applying the quotient rule formula, y prime is equal to the bottom function times the derivative of the top minus the top function times the derivative of the bottom, all divided by the bottom function squared. Computing those derivatives, the derivative of the square root of x is 1/2 x to the negative 1/2, and the derivative of 2 natural log of x is 2 divided by x. Simplifying, I end up with x to the negative 1/2 power times the natural log of x minus 2 times x to the negative 1/2 power, all divided by 2 times the natural log of x squared. If I want to simplify further, I'll first notice that in the numerator, there's a common factor of x to the negative 1/2 power. I'll factor that out, and then I'm left with x to the negative 1/2 power times the quantity natural log of x minus 2. Recalling that negative powers in the numerator can be moved to the denominator where they become positive powers, I move the x to the negative 1/2 power to the denominator. There it will become x to the positive 1/2 power, and I recall that the positive 1/2 power is the same as the square root. So x to the negative 1/2 gets moved to the denominator where it becomes x to the positive 1/2, or the square root of x. Also, in the denominator, 2 times the natural log of x squared is the same as 2 squared times the natural log of x squared. Well, 2 squared is equal to 4, so I can move that outside of the parentheses. Therefore, my final answer for the derivative is the natural log of x minus 2 divided by 4 times the square root of x times the natural log of x to the second power.